If you want to dive into the sweetness of bhakti, that sweetness will not come merely out of feelings of reverence. It will require feeling the personal connect. How do you feel that personal connect? People would ask, who are the acharyas of bhakti? Narada explained that who are the ideals of bhakti? So these could then be the paragons whom we could derive inspiration from. He is not naming Prahlad. He is not naming Bhishma or Yudhishthir. He is not naming his own self or Garg or Shandilya. He says, if you wish to see bhakti, see it in the Gopis of Braj. So what was the specialty of this bhakti of the Gopis? Of course, they had innumerable specialties in their devotion. However, some outstanding features. The intimacy of their connection with God. Factually, dearer than the whole world is our own body. Dearer than that is the prana. Dearer than that is the mind. Now you don't even realize that you are not the mind. Dearer than that is the intellect. Dearer than that is the soul. Your own Atma. And the Gopis have somehow reached at the level where God is seeming to them dearer than their soul. So Krishna, another name for him in Braj Bhasha is Kan. So a Gopi says, Pranabhay Kanamay, Kanabhay Pranamay. Ye te na jani pare prana hai ki kana hai. She says, when I look at Shree Krishna, it seems like he's my life air. When I look at my life air, it seems like Shree Krishna is moving. I've become totally confused. Which is my life air and which is Shree Krishna? That is the level of love at which he has reached. Factually, your most intimate, dearest, and closest relative is God. He is seated inside of you. Worldly relationships are established. One boy has come from Houston and one girl from Oklahoma. The relationship is cemented by taking 7 rounds around the fire, and Panditji declares, now you are husband and wife. And prior to that, they were not husband and wife. And death will separate them once again. In the case of God, He is our eternal relative and He is sitting inside of us. So there is no question of creating a new relationship with Him. It's a question of reviving or awakening the eternal bond. Now, in that connection with God, if we only think of His almightiness, our devotion will be evoking sentiments of fear. There will be reverence, but not the mamatva. He is mine. And that sentiment is very precious in bhakti. He is mine. That fulfills the devotee's heart. Without it, it is only reverence. Now in the Gita, Arjun asked Shree Krishna, I wish to see your universal form. Shree Krishna said, are you sure? Arjun said, yes, Maharaj. Shree Krishna bestowed divine vision. And Arjun saw a mind-boggling spectacle. He saw infinite universes within Shree Krishna. And in those infinite universes was his own universe where he was residing, and within that were Arjuna and Shree Krishna. But the form possessed innumerable hands, feet, legs, flames emanating from the mouth. This was the Aishwarya of God. He is Sarvaishwarya Sampann. He has got innumerable opulences, each to the infinite extent. Of course, for the sake of communication, Maharshi Parashar in the Devi Bhagavad Puran has enumerated 6 of them. Aishwaryasya samagrasya dharmasya yashasa shriyah jnana vairagya yoshchaiva shannam bhaga iti rana. He says God is He who has got infinite knowledge, infinite beauty, infinite strength, infinite wealth, infinite fame, and infinite detachment. But if you just contemplate on that almighty aspect, you will feel a distance. And that is what Arjuna is experiencing here. He said, "Oh Shree Krishna, my mouth is drying up. Danshtra karala nichate mukhani drishtvaiva kala nalasannibhani disho na jane na labhe cha sharma prasida devesha jagannivasa." I am terrified. Kindly hide this form of yours. So Shree Krishna then came back to his 4-armed form and finally his 2-armed form. So the takeaway from here is that if you want to dive into the sweetness of bhakti, that sweetness will not come merely out of feelings of reverence. It will require feeling the personal connect. Now, how do you feel that personal connect? You say, can I see Shree Krishna as my friend? Now the intellect could say, oh, Shree Krishna, your friend. It will be a transgression. How dare you think of Krishna as your friend? But Krishna says, look, I am the closest to you. The distance is not from my side, but in your own intellect. The day you are willing to see God as your friend, God is absolutely willing to reciprocate. He has got a rule. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham. As you surrender to me, I shall reciprocate accordingly. And this rule gives great scope to the soul. Now, the love of God is in our hands. You decide how much love, what kind of love you want from God. You shower that kind of love to the Lord and He will shower it on you. जैसो जीव करे प्यार तैसो करे प्यार यार मन तेरो सांचो यार ब्रजराज कुमार. जैसो जीव करे प्यार तैसो करे प्यार यार. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Ek pratigya Krishne rache purva aiche, ye aiche bhaje Krishna tar bhaje taiche. Sri Krishna's law is, whichever soul loves me at whatever time, to whatever extent, in whichever bhav, I will love the same soul at the same time, to the same extent, in the same bhav. If the soul says, Shree Krishna, you are my Swami, I am your dedicated servant. Shree Krishna says, Raktak and Patrak, the relationship is endorsed. If the soul says, Shree Krishna, you are my bosom buddy, come here, I'll put my arm around you. Shree Krishna says, Arjun, you are my langotiya yar, come on. If the soul says, Shree Krishna, I don't want you to take care of me, because that relationship is seeping with selfishness. I wish to take care of you. Shree Krishna says, Yashoda Maya, I have got no problem. I am putting myself at your disposal. If the soul says, Shree Krishna, you are my soul beloved, and I know of no other. Shree Krishna says, O Gopis, you are my beloveds. So, this is the quality of God. Amongst his infinite virtues, one of the virtues is Bhakta Vatsal. He loves his devotees. But even higher than that is Bhakta Vashya. He is enslaved by the love of his devotees. And now the whole floor opens up. The entire realm of Bhakti is open to you. You can get that seat in Bhakti which Shankarji did not, the Gopis did. When the Maharas took place, Shankarji was also refused permission. Where are you going? Sham Sundar is bestowing Maharas, I wish to relish it. The Gopi says, you don't have entry here. If you wish, we'll take permission from Radharani. Radharani said he can come, but in a feminine body. So Shankarji had to go and take a bath in Mansarovar and become Shivani Gopi, and then he was provided entry. When he reached there, Parvati was already present. Parvati said, today he is looking very beautiful. So Maharaj Ji comments, Gopi bane dole shambhu ऐसो है या प्रेमानंद. The nature of divine love, prem ras, is such that to relish it, Shankarji becomes a gopi. You know, Swami Vivekananda said that if I had been a thief, I would have stolen from a bank. And if I had been an administrative officer, I'd have been the king. But I have chosen to love, so I will love God. What he meant was that you aim for the highest. What is the point in aiming for anything less? If you are in the path of bhakti, why not understand the whole gamut, the entire spectrum, and then choose the best, the finest? Whether we reach there in 100 lifetimes, it doesn't matter. Make your goal the highest.